doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
All right. Can you hear me? I have no idea why some of my sound is not working today. My background band is not working.
You sound good, I think.
Huh?
You sound good.
I sound good, but my music's not here. For some reason, my background music isn't wanting to play today. I apologize. Usually we have a little bit of a rockin' band that's playing, but they don't want to play today. Hello, and welcome to the Nikki Medoro Show. We were cracking up before we started the show because Kim fooled me a little bit. And so we'll get to that in just a moment. It's gonna be a lot of sexy talk today, some sex scandal. You know, when I was prepping for the show, we're gonna talk about everything from DC to the Florida Republican, the GOP in Florida trying to oust one of these guys that's being accused of sexual assault, and his wife is a big anti-LGBTQer, except you have to take the B out of that apparently for this woman because she's part of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong, though, about being a big, fat hypocrite and speaking out about something in a group that you yourself are part of. So we'll talk about that. Obviously, it's raining. I hope all of you, I was reading some of the comments, Kim, before the show. I know. I love the fact that we're working from home today. These are the days my husband caught my cold, so he's homesick.
Oh no.
So, yeah. I think he's just really just trying to stay home so he doesn't have extend it like I have, because I just continue to work and it doesn't matter that I have this cough. But I'm feeling better. I think I'm definitely on the tail end of it, but I hope that he doesn't have it as long as I do. But yeah, he's in the back bedroom sleeping it off apparently. But yeah, it's a nice kind of day to stay inside if you can. And so, yeah. All right. The Niners won. It was a perfect Sunday. We won our division, the NFC West champions. We are so excited about that. Now, of course, we have to keep the momentum going. I hope everyone was able to watch the game yesterday if you wanted to. And yeah, that's what you get for kissing the cook, Nikki. Thank you so much. Okay, before we get to any and all of that, I want to show you this picture. This is what Kim and I were cracking up about. So I'm just going to preface this by saying Kim just sends me, and now I'm rereading the text. Now I'm rereading it. And Kim sends me this text over the weekend. And she's like, this is my kind of tree. Look how cute that is. I showed my family. I was like, look at Kim's tree. I think my son or my daughter's like, I hope they have a SpongeBob ornament. I'm like, oh, I'll have to ask her on Monday. So Kim hops on and I go, hey, is it okay if I show your Christmas tree on the show? And she's all, I didn't show you a picture of my Christmas tree. I'm like, well, then who sent me the picture of the Christmas tree? She's like, I sent you a picture of a Christmas tree. I didn't send you a picture of my Christmas. Now, I totally thought it was Kim's. I thought you would do something like that. This doesn't look that difficult. It's really, really cute.
No, it's a cute idea. It looks like a giant pineapple.
It does.
It's
I love it.
Aloha Kauai on Facebook, and I saw it, and I thought it was really cute, so I sent it to you. Kind of in a meme-ish way, look at this tree. Wish I would have thought of that. Didn't. And
I love it.
She gets this tree from me. She thinks this is my yellow room.
Yes. Well, I didn't. I didn't even notice the yellow room. I didn't notice anything else around it. I just noticed the tree. Now that you mentioned it, I was like, it's kind of an eclectic-looking house right there. Yeah, a little corner. They got. Is that like a fake paradise picture right over there?
Yeah, it's a giant poster of palm trees and a beach and whatever. I mean, I wouldn't put it past me to go all Hawaii like that.
I love it.
Totally.
I think it looks like a great tree. You're like, no, but we have a traditional tree, right? Your kids would not allow anything of this festiveness not in the house. No, it would not happen.
A traditional tree. I have to put certain ornaments I have to put up, like the ones they made when they're in preschool.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All those ornaments.
So do I.
It looks like a very like a tree you would see in anyone's house is what we have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
is a special tree that you wouldn't necessarily see in everyone's house. Eh, if it were in anyone's house, I would say probably me because I'm,
Yes.
big fan of
That's
all
why I
things
bought it. I was
tropical.
like, oh my
Right,
God, that's so cute.
right.
Oh well. Well,
It's
next
cute
year
though.
maybe. When the kids move out of the house, you'll have to have your pineapple Christmas tree. There you
Did
go.
you see the pictures of the 49ers display in
Oh my
Petaluma?
God, yes.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
I was
cute.
like, Kim, you need to go check it out. Do you have the picture? Hold
I'll
on.
work on getting it up while you're
Hold
talking
on.
about it, yeah.
I
Oh,
had the
do you?
news report on it, but it's
Oh,
just a
they did a
pic.
news report on it?
I think yeah, CBS News did something on it. So let me
That's
share the screen.
funny.
It's like it's a screenshot. Oh, of course they're gonna show a stupid ad while I do this. Okay. Well, while that ad plays, yeah,
They
no, I saw it. I was like, you need to go out there when I saw it.
Mhm.
I feel disappointed in myself, Kim. I'm gonna be honest. Why did I not think about having I have 49er ornaments. I don't have the whole entire I do not have
I know, it was really cute. I thought it was really cute.
So basically, this is in Petaluma. Obviously, they're 49er faithfuls. The family's name is Camano. They're in Northeast Petaluma.
Is it Kamano?
Yeah, that's the name that they say.
I wonder if that's Mr. Kamano.
Well,
Wow.
it's
He's a t Yeah,
Caamano.
that's Mr. Kamano. He's a teacher at my kid's school. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay, hold on. Let's
Mhm.
see if stupid
So
freaking
it's
thing.
funny that you said, "Do you know those people?" And I said, "No," and now apparently I do.
Okay,
Good
I finally
old
got the
Petaluma for
screenshot of
ya.
it. Here we
That's
go. This
funny.
is what it
Yeah.
looks like. Let me take this stupid ad down. I'm just gonna say this. I've seen so many awesome creative displays, but this has to be my favorite. Oh, Jesus, Lord ads. There we go. There it is. So I wanted to get it bigger, but it's not going to. So it's the catch. There's Rice. There's Montana. There's all these players. Number 8. It's a really, really cool picture and display in front of this house. So yeah, apparently Kamano, Kim's friend, said last winter really wrecked the boards. There was paint that was faded, so my driveway had all the boards lined up. So he had to touch them all up. It takes a lot of work. It's a family tradition.
Oh,
Apparently, he's the artist. He creates each board by hand, and it was an idea that came to him from a lesson he was teaching his 6th grade class.
yeah, 6th grade teacher. That's awesome.
Look at that. Now you have to go see. You have to go say hi and go check it out. Now that you know the people. He says he doesn't want to jinx it, but he thinks that this may be the 49ers year. They are playing on Christmas. Fingers crossed. Steve Young, A to Steve Young. Thank you. I was like brain farting, which is terrible for me to do. Yeah, so it's a really cool display. It seems like this, like in recent years, just doing the typical strand on a house is just not enough.
Mhm.
Like there has to be inflatables, there has to be something on the lawn. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that yard is amazing. All right. Christmas Tree Lane in Palo Alto. Do you guys have that in Petaluma? Like the neighborhoods to go to? Willow Glen over the weekend. My
Mm.
husband and I and the kids, we all went and rode with his bicycle with San Jose Bike Party around Willow Glen and checked out all the lights. It was a mad house. It was actually kind of scary at times because you have a mix of people walking, bicycle riding. There was
Mhm.
horse-drawn carriages and then
Wow.
cars. Yeah, no, it was insane. It's insane. It was absolutely insane. I would have taken pictures, but I didn't want to take my phone out because I was bike riding and there was so much happening between the lights, the displays, and all of the people that it was pretty crazy. I wish I would have, honestly done it on a weekday instead of
Mhm.
a weekend because it was absolutely crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Randy, Willow Glen is the best.
So we have
Um,
some really cool neighborhoods
uh-huh.
and some really cool houses. I noticed that someone put together a holiday lights tour with all the best addresses.
Oh,
So you
yes.
can drive around town and see the cool, see the
Yeah,
cool
we
ones.
have those too.
Mhm.
There's a lady, she's a realtor, and she puts out a list every year of like Willow Glens. But it's easy. Just go towards downtown Willow Glen, you'll see it. I mean, the neighborhoods just all, work together. There was one neighborhood, I don't remember the streets, but right down the center they had snowflake lights. So when you go down it's so
How
beautiful.
cute.
It really is gorgeous. But I mean, the houses are done up, everything is done up. But yeah, it was a bit crazy. And then when you see the horse-drawn carriages also, like maybe we should, pull back just a little bit on the weekends and not have it be so very crazy. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was cool. All right, let's do some headlines. And then we're going to talk about sex. Everything from, and yes, I think it was Lori that was mentioning in the comments, everything from what the Pope has said regarding same-sex couples, a UC Berkeley graduate tied up in this sex tape scandal in DC, and we haven't talked much about it. I don't know if you've talked about it on Mark's show, so forgive me, Kim, but the Moms of Liberty, or For Liberty co-founder,
Oh my God,
Bridget Ziegler,
the hypocrites of all time.
The hypocrisy that comes from people like that. And, the Florida GOP is like, God, her husband, who's being accused of a sexual assault, step down. And it seems like they're really digging in their heels. But it's not the only type of hypocrisy happening. There's also, these people that go and either, Bridget Ziegler behind a group that is very anti-LGBTQ, even though they're part of that community, or a YouTuber who is giving parenting advice. Now she's going to be entering a plea agreement today on charges of abusing her actual children. So all of that is coming up. We have so much more Rudy Giuliani. Also, we'll go over some technology that is fading away in 2023, or faded away in 2023. Click the thumbs up button, you guys, before we get to headlines. YouTube loves it. We love it. It really helps us out. The super chat is also live. We appreciate every single dollar you guys can share with us because it keeps the show going. And then, of course, as always, we ask you to become a monthly Patreon subscriber. You just go to thenikkimedoroshow.com, thenikkimedoroshow.com. You can sign up for our Patreon at any amount you can afford. PayPal is awesome as well. Just go to paypal.com, hit the send button, and then type in the email address, thenikkimedoroshow@gmail.com. We have merch. All of this information is in the About section on the show's description each and every day. So we appreciate each and every one of you. All right. I don't know if your intro is going to work, but here's Kim with some headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Did I lose Kim?
Yay!
Oh,
no, it worked. It sounded great. Yeah.
Oh, I don't hear it then. It must be me. Did you hear the intro to your news?
Yeah, I heard it perfectly.
Okay. You do news, and I'm going to refresh my computer. Okay.
You didn't hear it? Wow.
I can't hear any sound whatsoever. Okay, go ahead.
This is an update from the Nikki Medoro Show, and I am Kim McAllister. America's support for Israel is unshakable. That is what Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told reporters during his visit to Tel Aviv today. Austin said that the U.S. stands by Israel's right to defend itself from Hamas, but he emphasized Israeli forces must do everything possible to avoid civilian casualties in the Gaza Strip, and that does not seem to be happening. Here's Sandra Day O'Connor. The late justice is being honored at the Supreme Court today. Justice Sonia Sotomayor said O'Connor was devoted to making the world better over the course of her career. The late justice will lie in repose inside the building's Great Hall so the public can pay their respects ahead of a funeral service tomorrow at the Washington National Cathedral. The driver who crashed into a presidential motorcade vehicle is being charged with driving under the influence. Can you imagine if that's the accident you had while you were driving under the influence?
Right?
I mean, could it be any worse? Police in Wilmington, Delaware, announcing Monday morning that the 46-year-old driver is also being charged with inattentive driving. President Biden was walking to a waiting SUV from his campaign office Sunday night when a car hit a Secret Service vehicle being used to close off one of the intersections. Man.
I mean, I could understand, so when I didn't know about the driving under the influence aspect of it, but I could see oh my God, there's a ton of cars. Here's what's going on. You're distracted by that. And that you're so stupid that you slam into one of the cars. But yeah, being under the influence around all of those Secret Service agents and everybody.
Wow.
It's a dumbass.
You see those the stupid criminal videos where the guy crashes into the police car. Exactly. This is times a million. Really?
That's so funny. Yeah.
Crashing into the president's motorcade.
Of all the people in all the areas, that's the person you decide to crack into.
You really can't do anything small, can you? You really just got to go big, big, big.
That phone call, if you're in jail and you have to have your one phone call to get someone to bail you out.
What'd you do?
I was drunk driving and I crashed into the president's motorcade. What? what the hell? Just
Guys,
staying in
lucky he
bed.
didn't get shot 5 ways from Sunday. I
That
mean, you
is
know how many
true.
secrets you have to assume that someone's out to do the president harm,
Oh, well, yes,
right? I
especially
mean,
right now with like tensions here and in the Middle East and
and
all. It just,
exactly.
yeah,
Well, what about how
absolutely.
the kamikaze drivers that blow themselves up,
Right? Exactly. That's
like a
scary.
car laden with explosives? You don't know what's going on with that thing.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
I'm just saying. U.S. Steel is being sold to a Japanese company, Nippon Steel, buying what was once the largest company on the planet. U.S. Steel CEO David Burritt says the company is confident the move is what's best for the United States, ensuring a competitive domestic steel industry while strengthening our presence globally. It's best for the United States to sell U.S. Steel to a company that's not American?
Mm.
All right. That's what
Well,
you
I
think.
mean, as long as we're
Mm,
manufacturing it and making the money, right?
mm.
Are we in it? Like, explain that a little bit more. Like, what is the negative there that you're seeing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't it be better to have a US company controlled by the United States business community? I mean,
Oh, is
now
that
that
not what you're saying? Oh, this isn't an American company.
it was, now it's not.
Oh, now it's not. Sorry.
It was
Sorry, guys. I
US
missed that
Steel.
part.
It's being sold to a Japanese
Oh,
company,
being
Nippon
sold to.
Steel.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see. I see. But
they're
and
buying it up.
they're buying it up and they're moving it out.
I don't know if they're moving it out, but it's no longer under,
Yeah, I don't like that then.
American
Sorry, I missed
control.
that whole beginning of your
Yeah.
story. I apologize.
See what happens when you're drinking your coffee and
I
having fun
know.
over there.
Sorry, I missed the whole point of the
You're
story.
not
There you
the
go.
A student in the front of the class today, I have to say. Why don't you move to the back with the pot smokers, all right?
I'm going to the talkers. It's the talkers, not the pot smokers that I always got in trouble with. It's like Nikki can't stop talking. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying any attention, teacher. Sorry.
It
Go ahead.
turns out most of us are shortening up that old Christmas list. Most Americans are
Oh,
cutting
yes.
back on their shopping list this holiday season. Monmouth poll finds more than half of respondents won't be splurging because of high prices, with the pollster saying the rate of inflation may be slowing, but the damage of rising prices has been done. Despite cutting gift lists, Americans are taking part in full-on holiday activities, even declaring their favorite cookies. America's top Christmas cookie is
Hmm?
the sugar
Sugar?
cookie,
Yeah. I
followed
made
by
cookies
the
over the weekend. Oh,
did
followed by what?
you? The gingerbread,
Mm.
the chocolate chip, which I
Mhm.
don't find to be holiday related, and then the snickerdoodle.
So we made
Yeah.
cookies with my mom, me and the kids, and we made sugar cookies, which I did not find to be very good.
Oh,
I only bought and I will say this, I didn't make the sugar cookies from scratch. I just got the packet, the Betty Crocker thing
sure.
and the mix because the kids just wanted to make sugar cookies so they could decorate them, right? Whatever. And then I made a batch of chocolate chip cookies, but then before we put the chocolate chips in them, I split the dough in half and made white chocolate macadamia nuts, which were bomb. Those were really, really good.
Oh.
So the sugar cookies, but we decorated them. We had a cookie decorating contest and I lost. So whatever.
What did you try to decorate yours as?
I mean, mine just wasn't creative enough or pretty enough. We had 3 categories: prettiest, most creative, and most realistic.
You
And
couldn't win out of 3 categories. With how many people were there?
me, my mom, and my 2 kids, so 4 of
Out
us.
of 4 people with 3 categories, you couldn't win
My
anything?
dad was hating on my cookies. He was the
Yeah.
judge.
It's a
So,
dear disappointment. You've been a disappointment to me
but
for
I
some
will
time this
say,
morning, Nikki.
made the best cookie taste. My dad only wanted to eat the white chocolate macadamia nut one, so I
Oh,
wanted to
they're the
taste
best
on it.
tasting?
There
That
you
should
go.
have been one of the
Categories, yes.
best tasting.
Yeah, it was more of a nailed it type of thing, and
Hmm.
I didn't nail it apparently.
This is the sleigh from Elf.
Oh, okay.
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 So you can now apparently get your picture taken inside of it. The
Okay.
sleigh from the blockbuster 2003 Elf movie is in New York City waiting for you to climb aboard for a Christmas photo. The red 18-foot long sleigh with a clausometer on the dashboard is parked in Manhattan right outside Bergdorf Goodman department store. It is there in recognition of the Will Ferrell Christmas classic
Mm.
that's celebrating its 20th anniversary.
I love that movie. I can't believe it's 20 years old.
I know. It's on loan
Crazy.
from the Hale Site Fire Department in Huntington, Long Island, that it was gifted to firefighters there years ago by Mark Bozek, who was a local who bought the 1-ton sleigh for $12,000 in a movie memorabilia auction.
That's cool. I mean, I love that movie. It is it's a classic. It never gets old. I could if that movie is on, I could put it on and I enjoy it every single
Yeah.
time. It's a great movie.
$12,000 he paid for that? I mean,
Well,
in
that's a
the
piece of
scheme
history.
in the scheme of movie memorabilia, that seems like not that much.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to appreciate quite well as the years progress. So,
And
and
he
that's cool that
donates it
he's
to the
letting it let people take pictures in it too. Hopefully it doesn't get
Yeah.
ruined.
Well, he donated it to the fire department in Long Island,
Mhm.
and the Long Island Fire Department is putting it in Manhattan near Bergdorf Goodman's so that people can climb in and get their picture taken.
That's awesome.
It's kinda cool. I
Yeah.
like it.
I would go there if I was anywhere close.
Yeah. This report is sponsored by you, which
It
means we
is.
do rely on you for all the love, all the holiday support, all the holiday cheer. Find us at theNikkiMedoroShow.com, theNikkiMedoroShow.com, and that's where the Patreon and the PayPal links all located. And we appreciate, again, anything you can do for us. I'm Kim McAllister. This is the Nikki Medoro Show.
Thank you, Kim. All right, I got my music going. I can actually hear it this time. I couldn't hear it before, so I apologize if I was talking over and it didn't make any sense. For some reason, it's just being a pain in the butt on my end. Okay. Thank you, Kim, for those headlines. All right, let's get into it. You know, as I was prepping for this show, I know when I'm going to answer my own question because it's very simple. We are a country where we're just so puritanical when it comes to certain things. We just, if it has anything to do with sex, the pearls come out and people just start a clutching. Okay. So there's a number of headlines in recent days and just today. Let's start with the Pope's announcement. So Pope Francis has formally approved allowing priests to bless same-sex couples. This is not a minor thing, okay? It was released today, and it elaborates on a letter that Pope Francis sent to two conservative cardinals that was published back in October. In that response, Francis suggested such blessings could be offered under some circumstances if they didn't confuse the ritual with the sacrament of marriage. Now, all my Catholics out there, if you've ever had the debate over Prop 8 and blah, 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 people are like, same-sex couples can't be married because it is a sacrament and it's not allowed under our religion, right? Now, my response to that always is, I don't see you up in an uproar when the Bachelor people get married or, 90-day fiance, right? I mean, it's not as if this whole entire country holds marriage to such this high ideal in all circumstances. I don't see you protesting any of that, right? Desecrating or whatever, not respecting the sacrament, but I digress. So now this new document repeats that, but elaborates on it. Now, it reaffirms that marriage is a lifelong sacrament between a man and a woman. It stresses that the same-sex blessings cannot be, it's non-liturgical, the liturgy, and should not be conferred the same as a civil union, using set rituals and even using the clothing and gestures that belong in a wedding. But it says requests for such blessings for same-sex couples should not be denied, full stop. It says that the broad definition of the term blessing in scripture to insist that people seeking a relationship with God and looking for his love and mercy should not be subject to an exhaustive moral analysis as a precondition for receiving it. And that is the line that I love. It should not be subject to an exhaustive moral analysis. We should not be hemming and hawing about love between two people. Like, it's just two people who believe in God, or believe in what obviously the Catholic religion. Like, that's the whole thing. It's as if man, and I'm just using that in the broad term, places himself on the same level as being able to decide what deserves and what does not deserve a blessing. Now, Randy, I'll push back a little bit. Randy says, who cares what the Catholic Church says about same-sex marriage? If the church doesn't support you, then don't give the church money and support them.
Exactly. And if I'll do you one more, Randy. If the church has not supported you up until this point, screw them. Who needs their support?
I think that is, it's easy to say because you're not part of the religion. You weren't raised in a religion, right?
Okay.
So if you as a child are raised Catholic, you believe in the Catholic religion, but you are also homosexual. It's hard. It's hard
But
to feel denied by your church.
doesn't it show you though then that if you know that you are who you are and there's nothing you could have done to be
Mhm.
anything but yourself, and the church didn't believe in you or didn't respect you enough to say that you have the same rights as everyone else in the church,
Mhm.
doesn't that throw all the other tenets of the religion into question for you? Wouldn't
I
you
I
say,
I
well,
would
if
have
you're
I'm not, I don't know. I've never
I
had
mean,
that kind of
if you're
conflict.
wrong about this big thing, then maybe you're wrong about abortion. And maybe you're wrong about all the other judgy crap you've put on people.
I hear what
Maybe you're
you're
just wrong
saying.
about it all. Because it then becomes less about God and a relationship with God and spirituality, and it becomes more about how the church thinks you ought to live as a person.
Right.
And so if they got that one big thing wrong, then maybe they're wrong about all the things, about all the ways you should live and all the things they think you should be feel guilty about doing.
And I
Just
and I
throwing it
and
out
I
there.
I think that you're absolutely, correct in that questioning. Absolutely. I think that that's also the rub, right? Is that people that believe in a religion or raised in a religion, believes in the rites and the rituals and all of that, then they have this issue, either a personal one or maybe they know somebody that's gay, and they're just like, how can both of these things be true? How can I believe so fully in my religion, in what I was raised in, and yet feel like this part is so wrong? It's something that I have come to terms with, right? Like I have
Mhm.
my own personal relationship with God. I don't subscribe to the rules of the religion I was raised in because I find so much of it hypocritical. Right? I
Mhm.
do. I find it's hard for me, just like you said so much better than I am. If you're wrong about that,
Mhm.
if my religion taught me this, but you're acting like that, if my religion taught me this, but you're saying that, if you're donating your money, if you're supporting these ideas that, in my opinion, don't align with what I was taught to believe, then I don't know if I can truly subscribe to every single rule. And if I can't subscribe to every single rule, then why do I need to be part of a religion? Why can't I just
Mhm.
have my own relationship with God? So I do think that the Pope is moving in the right direction. But here's what I found the most interesting is the pushback in some Catholic groups, not all, against the Pope. So now they're picking and choosing whether or not they're going to listen to this Pope. Oh, this Pope,
Mhm.
this Pope. And it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Your religion believes in the Pope and speaking for the church and all of that. So now we're going to pick and choose when we get to listen to him. And doesn't that in and of itself raise questions of which rules you choose to follow? And if you're latching on to the rules that discriminate against people, that separate people, that divide people, right?
Mhm.
Why? You have to ask yourself, why would you choose to latch onto that instead of listening to the person that your own religion says you should listen to because they're speaking out against the rule that you're choosing to hold on to the most? It really is going to be interesting to see the reaction from those within the Catholic Church, especially, if you're Roman Catholic, a
Mhm.
very, very conservative sect of the Catholic religion. And yeah, Randy, you're absolutely right. Most religious people don't adhere to every single rule of their religion anyway. But it's which rules do you choose? Which rules do you choose to hold on to?
I mean,
Why do you choose to hold on to those ones?
I guess it's nice that they did that, that the Pope did that, but it's 2023. It's way too late. You could say it's about time, but
The
at this
church moves
point
very slowly, Kim. I don't know if you've happened to notice. They
at this point,
apologize for things that happened hundreds of
it
years ago. No.
it's not about time, it's past time, and
Yeah.
people have moved on from I would think people have moved on from, "Come on, church, get with the times," to, "Now we're pissed, and
Yeah.
now we don't
Well,
care anymore."
yeah.
And
I mean,
all
getting
the
pissed,
all the
it
gay
sounds like
people
outsider type of outside the religion type of I think it's more I think people are at least in my opinion, I welcome it because
Mhm,
I do agree that it's about time. But
yeah.
to be angry at the church, I honestly think there's going to be more people angry that the Pope is saying this than that it's about time and it's 2023. Mama of Three Boys says, I think a lot of people are not aware that even Catholicism is a spectrum. Yes, indeed. Some parishes are more conservative than others. There is such a thing as progressive Catholics. Yep, 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 yep. And I was mentioning the Roman Catholics, very
Mhm.
conservative. Absolutely. There are churches that advertise. They have, the rainbow flag out in front of them. Catholic churches.
Wow.
So that people know, like, look, you're welcome here.
I once had
Absolutely.
a conversation with a former coworker of ours who's Mormon, and he said we got into this debate about taking what you want from religion and leaving the rest behind, right? So, maybe taking love everyone or, help thy brother, whatever, like taking the tenets of things that apply to you or that you feel are valuable and leaving the rest. And he said, no, 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 you can't do that. Either
Exactly.
you either you
Oh,
subscribe to the religion or you don't. Don't get to pick and choose. It's not up to you. It's up to, the religion, what tenets they hold and the tenets they believe. And so either you believe in that, he said, or you don't believe in the religion. Then you go off and make your own religion and with the ideas that you do support. But if you don't support at all, then you don't support what the religion is offering or
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I tend to be more of a pick your own, like pick your favorites, pick your
Yeah.
favorite hits and move on. Apparently, I would be really bad at being a Mormon, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting conversation.
Well, and that's kind of where I have found myself, right? But at least, and again, I was raised Catholic. I can't speak to any other religions or even any, even Christianity, and because it's different. What they believe in, even their rites and rituals are different. But that's kind of how I felt. But even within the Catholic religion, even within the Bible, I mean, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, conflicting messages,
Mhm.
right? And then, of course, there's people that take the literal interpretation of the Bible and those that do not. And which one do you subscribe to? It's difficult. So I do actually kind of pick and choose. And I keep it really freaking basic, kind of the golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. Done. Done. Look out for your neighbor. Love
Mhm.
everyone. And oh, by the way, Jesus already died for our sins, so we could stop crucifying each other. Okay? We could stop. And that's it. Just be as good of a person as you can. And it shouldn't be that difficult. And we shouldn't, in my opinion, be digging into the Bible for reasons to justify why we separate ourselves from each other. We should not be searching scripture to discriminate against people. We should
Mhm.
not be searching scripture for reasons why you can't get married, right? Or why you're an abomination, or why the way you live is a sin. We should not be seeking out to chastise others.
That's right.
Right? We should look to the scripture for reasons why we should love them and forgive them and welcome them. That's what we should be searching scripture for. It just seems that so many other people search the scripture for things that justify why they can be mean to each other. And it's bull. And yeah, and I just don't like that. And so that's why I don't. And that's why I just can't sit there anymore and say that I am, that I am a practicing Catholic, because I don't. Because I don't
Mhm.
practice all of those. And I'm not ashamed of it either. I mean, yeah, it sucks. And sometimes I do wish to have that kind of community around me, but I'd just rather be nicer to people and not discriminate against them and not judge them. Yep, love your neighbor, Gordon says. That's the Bible. It's just
Mhm.
really it shouldn't be so difficult. You know what I mean? It really shouldn't be so difficult, and it's not if you really think about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jess says exactly. Jesus turned the other cheeks. Yeah, I'm with you, Nikki, as a Catholic. Thank you, Vilma. Um, it shouldn't be that difficult to love each other. It just really shouldn't, unless you want to discriminate. And so we're gonna get into this. Now there's a couple of sex scandals, and again, I'm tying this into what the Pope said and religion and all of that, because the way people justify, the way they behave, often is tied to religion or conservative thoughts, and it's such crap. It is such crap. So let's first start off with this DC scandal. Now I'm going to be clear. I have not seen the video. You can go see the video. Apparently it's pretty graphic. I have seen, if you look on Twitter X, you can see like a little splash of it. Um, it's two men having sex. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see sex tape. I don't need to do that. If you choose to do it, you can knock yourself out. I'm not going to show it here, obviously. But anyways, apparently this staffer that worked for Democratic Senator Ben Cardin's office, Aiden Mace Zaropsky, I think I'm saying his name right. He's out of a job after he posted a video of him having sex possibly with a German guy. He made some sort of comment about in this room, like, oh, here it is. Okay. So this is what he wrote. He says, in this very room, Sonia Sotomayor had her confirmation hearing. James Comey testified on Russian interference in the 2016 election. Aiden got some thick German sausage. Blah, 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 blah. Really, I don't want to use it's just really I don't want to say vulgar, but it's very graphic, explicit. Let's say that.
And it
Explicit.
wouldn't matter who was having sex, I don't think.
Right. And that's the best. I'm so glad you said that, because if it was a man and a woman having sex in this room, do you think people would be as outraged and pearl clutching?
They should.
They should.
Basically, you could say the room was, I don't know if this is the right word, they desecrated the room.
I mean, it's an important room. A lot of important things happen in there, right? Okay.
The fact that it was gay sex will make all of the, the ultra conservative,
yes,
how people are like, I'm never going in that room again. How could they? But does it really matter what kind of sex it was? Somebody filmed like an amateur porn in a very important Senate committee room.
Yeah. I will say this. Now, I am not one, and I don't think that I'm really exposing too much. I'm not one for public displays of affection in this way in public. Okay. I'm not going to yuck your yum if you like it. It's not legal in many cases. So you could be breaking the law if it's indecent exposure or whatever, if you're caught. Right. Yeah. But I understand that there are some people that get off on this sort of thing. Okay. It's we could get caught, right? And I understand that there's people that might like to do this sort of thing because it gets them excited. But this guy, now, again, this is according to the Post-Millennial. They have all these screenshots of this Aiden dude. He likes doing stuff like this, apparently. A lot of the posts that he posts on, Reddit and these gay chat rooms is him naked, showing his butt. Like, this is what he likes to do. I'm not yucking your yum, Aiden. But what I am saying is you did it. This was too far, right? I mean, I'm not clutching my pearls, but I am saying that if you are someone who likes to have sex in public, don't do it in a Senate hearing room, because you're going to lose your job, which is exactly what happened. Apparently, he's also a UC Berkeley graduate. So there is this kind of Bay Area connection. He's worked for Ben Cardin since 2021. He has videos where he's spoken with President Biden. Now, his LinkedIn statement leaves a lot to be desired. This is what he says. He says, "This has been a difficult time for me, as I've been attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda."
No,
Stop.
you haven't. You haven't been attacked for who you
having
love.
sex in a Senate hearing room, man.
Right, exactly.
And so he says, while some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace. So what is he saying? Is that not you? Is he claiming now there's been no more statement from him since. He says, any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal actions are available to me in these matters. As for the accusations regarding Congressman Max Miller, I have never seen the congressman and had no opportunity or cause to yell or confront him. I guess something happened with him. Now, he's naked. If what we see in the video is true, it's not been doctored. It's him having sex with a man. I think it's just in poor taste. Like, you just don't do that.
No.
You don't do it. I am not one, again, I know you hate when I say that. I am not one to do that, though, Eric. I'm not trying to judge the gay sex aspect. What I'm judging is the sex aspect. You can't have sex in the Senate hearing room. Now, I'm not naive enough to think that it's never happened before, but you're a dumbass for recording it and then allowing it to get out. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Don't do that.
You wouldn't have to assume in this day and age that there's cameras in that room anyway.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I don't know if there's, but somebody, the top was recording. Okay. So,
yeah.
It doesn't seem like Aiden wasn't aware of it. Okay. So, I mean, he posted it in that gay chat room, And so I feel like, does this hurt also? I don't even want to go this way. I'm not saying he has to be the face of the LGBTQ community, but what I don't want him to do is to hide behind discrimination against the
Mhm.
LGBTQ community to defend himself against those that say what you did isn't appropriate. Like, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
Well, he was fired.
Yeah, he's fired.
He
He does not
said
have a
he was
job anymore.
wrongfully terminated
Yeah.
and that he's going to sue because he's been discriminated against.
No, you don't get
What?
to do that.
No way, man. Mm-mm.
You can't look. If I was at KGO and got caught in a studio having sex, well, I don't know if I get fired, but I probably would get fired, right?
You
I
would.
mean,
There was a
radio deals
guy,
with a lot of stuff,
there
but
was a
it's
board op at KGO who got caught in the garage having sex in the news cars. At night, he would sneak down and
what
invite a
was
lady friend.
this?
Oh my God, you didn't know?
Wait, so who
Wow.
was this? Was it a radio
It was
broadcaster?
an engineer, a board op,
Oh, board op.
who used to
Do
invite
I know this board
people.
op?
Probably. Yeah. He used to invite people down to the garage where the news cars lived, and he would take a key from the newsroom and go down into the parking garage and do the do, and then come back up and put the key there back.
Oh yeah, you got to put
But
the
there
key
are
back.
cameras in the parking garage, and he was caught and
Oh,
summarily
no.
fired, and that was it. And it was a big story around the newsroom for a while.
How
Yeah.
did I not know this? Kim says he
Mm,
was also joyriding in the KGO news car all the time too.
yeah. Mhm.
Wow. No, I did not know this story.
Mhm. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
When we're on Front Street.
Okay. Okay. So that was a little
Mhm.
while ago. Yeah. That is
And a
so
really nice
funny.
guy too, like, totally nice guy. I would have never have thought he was
Well, he was a nice guy. He was
but
really,
it
really nice in
made
the
me think,
parking
like,
lot too.
what news cars have I been riding around in? Don't put your purse on the back seat. Yuck.
Oh, and that's the other thing about, well, the news car and then the Senate hearing room. It's like, does somebody know whose seat it was? Right? It's like, oh, that was my seat. Right?
Mhm. Oh, that's the news car I usually take. Yeah.
Like, I put my sandwich on that seat or something, right? It's oh, so this would have been, oh, hold on. I can't text you his name. I don't know his name. Kim says it would have been 2009 or 2010. So
Mm,
that would have been right before I joined because I started in
mm,
2011.
okay. Wow.
So that was a little bit before because I feel like, how would I have missed that
That
story?
was a pretty big one.
Yeah, I'm like,
And
I
everyone,
don't
like,
think I
the
would.
next day heard the news and they're like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
I
Fired.
love stuff like that though. I mean,
So,
you have to kind of enjoy it as long as it's not hurting people. And again, is it bad? Does this guy deserve to lose his job? Absolutely. You can't do that.
there are
And they're
cameras
trying to get
all over the
Cardin in it
parking
because
garage.
apparently you're supposed to
Mhm.
formally request use of the room.
Oh.
So how did he get in? Like, did he tell Cardin, like, hey, like, how did you get in? I'm assuming it's
Mhm.
not just an open door. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's not an open door.
Love is an open
Um,
door.
Double entendre there. All right. Okay, now let's move from DC to Florida. The
Mhm.
Republican Party of Florida has suspended Chairman Christian Ziegler and is demanding his resignation during an emergency meeting yesterday. This adds to the calls by Governor Ron DeSantis and other top officials for him to step down as police investigate a rape accusation against him. If you do not know who Christian Ziegler is, he's obviously the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida, but his wife co-founded Moms for Liberty. Um, Moms for Liberty that gets on school boards and is like acting like LGBTQ books are the worst books in the world and all this sort of crap. Wait. Christian Ziegler and his wife Bridget had been in a 20-year-long consensual threesome relationship with another woman. Now, I don't know, Kim, but I think the definition of the B is bisexual. And I would think that if you have sex with a woman so long, I would consider you part of that B, right? Or am I stretching here? I don't know the rules of how you can identify, but it just seems a bit rich. So she's
If she's
refusing.
having sex with a woman for 20 years,
Well, she's
she might say, "Oh, my husband's forcing me to
a
do that," or
threesome, a
that's
threesome.
part of my married excitement, whatever. But you're having sex with a person of the same gender as you, that seems rather,
Yeah.
you know, I don't
Uh,
know, lesbianish to me.
well,
And
yeah, or
there's
at least bisexual. If you can be aroused, right? I mean, if you want to have sex with
Mhm.
women, whether it's with your
There's
husband or not. I
nothing
mean,
wrong with that. Go
and I'm
get
not
it.
saying there is, but you
Right.
don't also get to clutch your pearls when there's LGBTQ books when you are part of that community.
Well,
When
you
you
don't
see
get to
nothing
turn
wrong with it.
you don't get to turn around, and it's not only books, it's everything
Everything.
LGBTQ,
Exactly.
and trying to put other people down for that very thing that you're doing behind closed doors in your marriage.
So,
Honestly,
yeah.
I hate you for this, even though I'm doing it myself. Okay,
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly.
Whatever you say, lady.
So she's refusing to resign. She's facing a ton of pressure. I want to play you this one clip though of this kid. His name is Xander Morix. And it's been making the rounds. And it's during this hearing where people are saying, you need to step your ass down, Bridget Ziegler. And he makes the point so much better than I can. Here we go.
Bridget, our first ever interaction was when you retweeted a hate article about me from The Nationalist while I was a Sarasota County school student. You are a reminder that some people view politics as a service to others, while some view it as an opportunity for themselves. On this board, you have spent public funds that could have been used to increase teacher pay, to change our district lines for political gain, remove books from schools, target trans and queer children, erase Black history, and elevate your political career, all while sending your children to private schools because you do not believe in the public school system that you've been leading. My question is, why doesn't an elected official using our money to harm our students and our teachers for her gain seem to matter as much to us as her having a threesome does? Bridget Ziegler, you do not deserve to be on the Sarasota County School Board, but you do not deserve to be removed from it for having a threesome. That defeats the lesson we've been trying to teach you, which is that a politician's job is to serve their community, not to police personal lives. So, to be extra clear, Bridget, you deserve to be fired from your job because you are terrible at your job, not because you had sex with a woman.
Boom. Done. Exactly. Like, she's a terrible person.
Yes.
She's a terrible person. And there's so many videos of people that are very upset at her and the hypocrisy of it all. That's what I think pisses people off so much, is it's so hypocritical of her taking these stances against, just like he said, brown students, LGBTQ students, just to raise her own political, stature. And yet she's a total hypocrite about it. Now, I will also say this. If her husband is proven to have assaulted the woman that they've been having a threesome with, Bridget Ziegler shouldn't be charged along with that. That's his crime that he did. That's something that they need to deal with. Don't hold the wife, who was not even there, accountable for the crimes of the man. It pisses me off when people do stuff like that. Like, wait a minute. No. He committed the crime, allegedly, not her. She is guilty of a ton of other stuff. She's totally guilty of being a big, fat hypocrite. Now, she's been not accused of doing anything illegal. She's been defined to step down from the school board that she's been in for 9 years. Jesus. She said last week, "I am disappointed. I serve on another public board and this issue did not come up, and we were able to forge ahead with business on the board." Do you think, here's a good question. Do you think, though, that the crime committed allegedly by her husband and the fact that she had a threesome should in any way, shape, or form be a topic of conversation on the school board? I mean, should it be brought up at all? Because I do feel like if you're in charge of children and you're speaking against, let's just say, LGBTQ books, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does call into question, one, I guess, your sincerity of it all, right? Like, why do you have a problem with it when you don't have a problem with that? That's the only kind of way, not, shaming people for it, but how do you just kind of look at somebody that's so against something on one hand and not, in their own private bedroom? I don't understand how you could do that.
So I would say that it shouldn't have been an issue until she made it an issue. She's the one that brought the hatred of all things LGBTQ into the mix, with the co-founding of the Moms for Liberty and the books, and made it all that she went there.
Yeah.
She made it a public thing. She brought it into the meetings. She did this. And so, because it's applicable, then it becomes something noteworthy to discuss.
Yeah.
The hypocrisy becomes
It's so
noteworthy.
hypocritical. Yeah.
Now, if she hadn't done that, if she had been this school board member who was going about her business and voting on the teacher salaries or whatever it was, and not bringing all this stuff into the mix, that's one thing. But when you have someone whose goal it is to squash other people down,
Yeah.
that is
That's a
actually
problem.
then it turns out that she's doing the very thing that she's squashing other people down for. Well, no. Now it becomes something that is absolutely relevant to the conversation.
Lori, the assault allegedly was against the woman that they have known for 20 years and have had these threesomes with.
Apparently, she didn't show up for one of the rendezvous with this woman.
Yeah, so Bridget had to back out. I think she had something to do on the night they were supposed to have a threesome, and the husband allegedly went over to the woman's house still, even though Bridget wasn't there, and allegedly raped her. So, that's the accusation. But yeah, and apparently the text message between the husband and his alleged victim, she was like, "What happened last night was not okay." And he's like, "Uh-oh, I hate to hear that. We've been in this relationship or I've known you for like 20 years." So it's not like they're strangers to each other. So I don't know what's happening, but at the same time, no, Bridget should not be, obviously lumped into his alleged crime. But 2, you should be off a school board because you're a big fat hypocrite and you suck at your job. So there you go.
I can't believe people are voted for her for the school board when her kids are in private school. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes, exactly. It's so again, hypocrite. It's
Well, I'll vote for that lady
the
because
running theme, right?
she's gonna keep the gay books out of the library. Vote for her. Right.
Exactly. All right, one more final sadly ironic, hypocritical type of thing. I don't know if you've been following the Ruby Frankie case. She's a YouTuber. Apparently she gives like blunt parenting advice. Well, she's supposed to be entering a plea agreement today. I'm going to play you a little bit of this news report from CBS. Now this is more serious. When we're talking about children, abusing children, I don't understand. And again, when you watch this, you guys let me know in the comments. One, obviously the woman's sick in the head if all these allegations are true. These children were obviously abused, so something wrong was happening. She's entering a plea agreement. But 2, was she always like this, do you think? Or do you think that, the fame of being this YouTuber with millions of fans and subscribers and blah, 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 kind of warps people's minds a bit? Now, I'm not, saying that relieves her of responsibility here, but how do you have a parenting YouTube channel and do this to children? I don't understand. Here.
Online, mother of 6 Ruby Frankie touted her no-nonsense method to parenting to her 2 million online followers.
You have to throw up twice before I come get you.
But Utah authorities say Frankie's tough love approach was actually child abuse. Court documents allege her children had physical injuries, looked severely malnourished, and had duct tape around their extremities.
I absolutely suspect that she will plead guilty to prison time.
CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
This is not a difference of opinion when it comes to parenting styles. This is about egregious criminal behavior when it comes to minors.
Police arrested Frankie this past August. She's since remained behind bars. In a statement, Frankie's defense team said since her arrest, she has reset her moral compass and understands the full weight of her actions. Police look closer at Frankie after her 12-year-old son escaped the home of her business partner and co-host, Jody Hildebrandt, where he then ran to a neighbor who called 911. In their statement, Frankie's lawyers also sharply pointed the finger at Hildebrandt, saying she led Frankie astray, accusing her of isolating Frankie from her family. Hildebrandt also remains in jail facing felony child abuse charges for her alleged treatment of Frankie's children. She has not entered a plea.
Frankie's statement indicates that she is helping in the trial against Hildebrandt. She is saving herself having to go through a public trial, having people and maybe even her children testify about the level of treatment that she gave them and how they sustained those injuries.
For CBS Mornings,
I mean, she deserves to rot in prison, in my opinion. Anybody that does that to children should be in prison for a very, very long time. But My concern, though, is the platform. And of course, we're on this platform. I mean, we're not a parenting type of show, but we talk about parenting. I can't imagine that being the sole focus of my show. Authorities show up at my house after a child escapes. There's duct tape on them. And it makes me wonder what people are willing to do simply because they are afforded a certain platform. It's absolutely ridiculous that this woman is able to use YouTube with the reach that she has, and how many people are listening to her. You need to okay, so the clip said she was obviously looking at her kids. You have to throw up twice before I come get you. Now, I'm assuming, and again, I don't watch her. This is like, oh, kids act sick because they don't want to go to school. Any parent has been there, right? Like your kid's like, I don't feel good. You were fine yesterday when you wanted to stay up till midnight watching TV or on the phone with your friends or whatever, right? But there's a difference between that and your child throwing up. If my kid throws up, that's the get out of jail free card. Like, you threw up, you can't go, right? You can't go. Throwing up twice before they'll come get you at school. I'm surprised the school would even deal with it. If that's what she was talking about. She might have been talking about somebody's house. I have no idea. Yeah, if people are exactly, if somebody is escaping from your house, Calvin, escape from your parents, maybe she's bad. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's the thing, is what I was reading about this quote parenting blog,
Right.
is it's all about how you should give your children harsh punishments.
Right.
Right.
Very
the
strict.
parenting the parenting blog itself is like, spare the rod, spoil the child kind of, you must be strict and here's what you do and all these things. And so that was kind of a red flag right there. The advice that she was giving is not the advice you want to take from someone. So it's not a surprise then to find out that her own children are being mistreated.
Do you think that similar to, I guess, people's criticisms of, let's say, San Francisco, right? We just let the criminals get away with everything. We need harsher punishments. Those sorts of things can trickle down into parenting. They can look around like, look at all these kids. They're misbehaving. They're stealing from stores. It's the parents' problem. And so a blog or a YouTube channel that kind of promotes stricter punishments can appeal to some people who might see this as, no, parents are too soft on their kids. Back in my day, we had to go get the switch and all that sort of stuff, right?
No.
I don't understand the appeal of this sort of type of channel, this strictness all the time, without an understanding of, when you hit children, when you hurt children, there's a consequence for that. You're abusing them.
Yeah.
Vilma says, straight up child abuse for profit off the internet. She's an abuser. She belongs in jail. She could not have an overnight epiphany. No, she's just saying what she needs to say. I do think that she's probably trying to avoid hearing her own children. And I don't think she's doing it for the children's sake to not testify in court. I don't think she wants to sit there and watch them really give in detail publicly what she did to them. Lady Beatrice says she should never be allowed out of jail as a mandatory reporter. I believe this woman should never have access to the children again because she is obviously not safe for them. Absolutely. I don't know how anybody would put children back in the home of this woman. I don't know where the kids go. I mean, the foster care system is just overrun with children, and especially because they're older kids, right? It's even harder. And then you have to deal with someone that obviously has probably mental health issues because they've been abused in this house for so long. Lady just goes on and says, child guidance is preferable. You help the child understand why what they did was wrong without making them feel humiliated or embarrassed. Anyone spouting off archaic rhetoric should be reported. It is often made fun of, though. I'll say this, you'll see these comedy videos where little Johnny's acting up and mom sits him down and is like, tell me how you feel. How did that make you feel? Then you'll see some, I'm just going to be stereotypical here, some boomer being like, say, that kid just needs a big swat on the ass and they'll learn their lesson type of thing. There's a middle, right? There's having a conversation with a human being that should have autonomy over their own body, not be beat on when they misbehave. Also understanding they're a kid. And because they're a kid, they're going to misbehave. They're going to mess up. And it's up to us, the adult, to look at the child and be like, okay, this is what you did wrong. And I know we're also human. Adults are human, right? We come with our own baggage of how we were raised. Some parents yell too much. Some parents, unfortunately, hit their children, but I don't ever think that hitting your child is ever okay. You don't hit kids. You just don't do it. Calvin says you need a balance of being strict and understanding when you raise a child. There are limits with what you can do. Jess says treat the child with respect as an equal to give them self-confidence. I don't know about the equal part. They're not an equal. They need to learn they need to learn respect of elders, but not in an abusive type of way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm saying be respectful to all people, right? You look people in the eye, you talk to them respectfully, you don't mouth off to people, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a parent with a smart ass mouth. So that's me. It's really, really hard. Yeah, and patience is extremely hard. You're absolutely right, Jess. And I want to throw this also in. They're in Utah, right? I believe that I'm right. Are they in Utah? I feel like they are. I think that they are. And is there also the religious aspect of it? Is there this sort of Utah's Washington County. Is there also this religious aspect of it that could, and I'm not saying does, but could hide this sort of abuse, right? Oh, you have to listen to your parents. It's part of our belief system. If you see a parent being a little too aggressive with their child, it's okay. They must deserve it. Those sorts of things are dangerous, and it allows abuse to be hidden for much longer, I think. And that's why it took this kid escaping and telling somebody to get something to be done. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. So we'll see. Again, she's supposed to enter this plea agreement 11 local time. So probably right about now. But we don't have it. You heard there on that CBS report that they think that she's going to, plead to some sort of prison time, which she should get.
Yeah.
Anybody that abuses children should just get the strictest punishment absolutely possible. Okay, so we're going to switch gears. Let's do some headlines. I do want to touch on, do you think that Rudy Giuliani is going to pay $1 to those women? What was it? $148 million?
Yeah.
He didn't even look up, apparently. When they gave the dollar amount in court.
He knew.
He didn't even look up. He was like, yeah, whatever. But then I'm like, then some people are saying he's just going to file for bankruptcy and not even pay. I'm not quite sure it's the money. It's the fact that he's done. And I think that that's also important. And then also during the next hour, we're going to talk about all the technology that we grew up loving is gone and died in 2023. Click the thumbs up button, show your support for the show. Please, the super chat is also live as well. I thank you so much. Harry came in early with a $5 donation.
Thank you, Harry.
Great show. You're slaying it. Slay isn't slay. I get it. We were talking about the elf sleigh. Thank you. And if you want to donate, just look for the $sign under the live chat box. And it helps us out. And of course, our Patreon is up and all of that is up. So we appreciate each and every one of you. All right. We will do some headlines and then we will come back. Do you think Rudy Giuliani is going to give 1 cent to those women he defamed? Let us know in the comments and we'll talk about it after Kim's news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Pardon me, open my mouth and cough.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, good morning. As Nikki mentioned, Pope Francis is approving a ruling that will allow same-sex couples to receive blessings under certain conditions. The Vatican announcing the landmark decision today, saying priests can give the blessings if they are not given as part of the regular church rituals or liturgy. Instead, blessings can be given during visits to a shrine, a meeting with a priest, or during a pilgrimage. But that's it. Southwest Airlines is agreeing to a record-setting civil penalty over last year's holiday travel nightmare. The Department of Transportation said the airline has agreed to pay a $140 million fine. Rudy Giuliani could use their help.
Exactly. I know. I was thinking the same thing.
During the year-end holiday travel period last year, Southwest canceled almost 17,000 flights, leaving 2 million travelers stranded.
I know.
Remember
I'm
that?
flying with them to Arizona, and I'm so freaking nervous about it. But I had to use my points. I had points, and I was like, and times are tough, so I needed to use them. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm not caught in any sort of ridiculousness, but we'll see.
Got to get it done.
Gotta do it.
Hopefully it'll be all right.
Oh, look who it is.
Look who it is, our resident lying liar who lies. Former New York Congressman George Santos here, threatening to sue ABC talk show's Jimmy Kimmel over cameo videos. Santos, who was kicked out of Congress earlier this month after being indicted on 23 federal charges, is paying his bills these days with monies he's earning making those cameo videos at $500 each. That is what Jimmy Kimmel paid for each one he bought anonymously, getting Santos to say ridiculous things and then playing the clips on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Hey, once
Hey,
you
he paid for them.
you
Yeah.
paid the person to make the videos, you can show them wherever you want. And
Yeah.
he doesn't get to say where they get to be shown.
I
You make a
mean,
video, you have to
yeah.
assume that it's going somewhere else, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I've never purchased a cameo, but I would imagine that there's something in the fine print that, yes, you could share this. You bought it for whatever amount, like it's yours now. I got to send it to my family. I got to blast it on national television, Like, why not?
Exactly. You can't say where someone can and can't use those videos. What a dumb thing for Santos to try to sue. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Let's see.
No.
I'll see if I could find the cameo. I'll see if I could find it.
This beloved beluga whale has passed away. I don't know if you are aware of Ferdinand. He, I have never seen Ferdinand, but perhaps others of you have. He lives at SeaWorld in San Diego. Here's a picture of Ferdinand. He's this beloved creature, and sadly, he has passed away, Ferdinand.
Aww.
Yeah, he died at SeaWorld San Diego. Fans love Ferdinand for his playful personality and his uniquely elongated head. SeaWorld said before his passing he was the oldest beluga whale residing in any of the world's zoos. He was also among the largest beluga whales. He weighed over 2,000 pounds. He came to San Diego from a German zoo in 2004 and helped scientists learn more about belugas, including a recent DNA sampling study that used skin cells and any traces in water to help track wild populations. On SeaWorld's Facebook post, hundreds of people are sharing stories about Ferdinand. So that's a sad situation. I would say Ferdinand probably would have been better off if you had left him in the sea with his family.
Yeah, I know. It's so sad when you see these animals and where they are and where they could be. It is. And Jess is right. We're so cruel as humans. It's so sad.
I mean, was transferred from a German zoo to an American zoo. I mean, what a life. Horrible. Horrible. The holiday travelers are on alert for a super soaker across California. A super soaker event. Here it comes. Yeah. The Mother Nature could make the roads especially dangerous this week. The southern part of our state is bracing for the most rain since a tropical storm in August, while the northern part is expected to be the wettest since March. In fact, 2 to 5 inches of rain possible between San Francisco and Santa Barbara through Saturday, with storms returning on Christmas Day. And I will say, as a little plug for the Mark Thompson Show, I'll be having Spencer Christian on right
Oh,
after
good.
the morning. We'll talk weather, talk about the big storms coming. Last night, I don't know if you got storms in the
Yes,
south
it was
last night.
raining. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it was raining hard, like one of those pelting your roof, like is the world ending kind of rain.
Well, I learned something. I slept on the couch last night because my husband, because I was sick, he's been giving me the bed. So we've been trying not to obviously infect each other. And so last night I took the couch because I was feeling better and he wasn't feeling good. So I was like, you take the bed, I'll sleep on the couch. I have learned that the spout, from the gutters down,
Oh,
is
yeah.
very, very loud when it's raining. I even have my earplugs in and I woke up. I thought somebody was like breaking into my husband's truck because it was just this tick, 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 tick. And I was like, what is going on? And we had, I was like, oh my God, is somebody trying to break in? And I put my, you would have laughed at me. I'm putting my ear up to the wall of my house that goes to the outside. And then I realized it was the rain gutter. I was like, oh, that's really annoying. And it wasn't constant. Like I think that it wasn't raining hard enough for it to just be the whoosh. So it was just like kind of pelting. Very annoying. I think I'm going to have to double up on something, pillow over my head or something if I'm sleeping on the couch again tonight,
Little
which
earbuds,
it
something.
looks like it's gonna happen. So
Oh no, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he's not feeling very good. All right, well, let's laugh about something real quickly before. Oh, go ahead. You
go
have
ahead.
one more. Sorry, I want to do the George Santos thing. I found the video. Do you want to
Oh,
see
go
it
ahead.
really
No,
quickly?
let's do it.
Okay, so Jimmy did a kind of a preface before the video, but I'm just going to show you the video of George Santos. He asked him like to congratulate a guy for a beef eating contest, for winning a beef eating contest. So we can only imagine how this is going to go. So here we go.
Hey, Gary Fortuna. George Santos here. I just wanted to stop by to congratulate you for winning the Clearwater, Florida beef eating contest. Eating 6 pounds of loose ground beef in under 30 minutes is a all-time new record, which is amazing and impressive. Congratulations for the win. I know you're feeling a little under the weather, but I hear from a great source that the doctor said that you'll be released from the hospital soon and recover well. Look, have a speedy recovery and then enjoy the festivities of the end of the year. Bye.
That was pretty good. I think there might be another one. Another one. Okay, let's watch one more.
Please congratulate my mom, Brenda, on the successful cloning of her beloved Schnauzer, Adolf. She and her hound Schnaufer went through a lot of dogs in the trial runs, but they finally got it to stick. Tell her to give Adolf a big belly rub for me. Will Santos say it?
Hey, Brenda. I want to congratulate you on successfully cloning your beloved Schnauzer, Adolf. I know it was a lot of trials and tribulations, but you finally did it. Now you get to enjoy Adolf and be happy. So give him a belly rub for me. Mwah.
So that's a few. You know, I don't know what he's supposed to do if you are getting paid $500. It's $500, right? Say it.
$500. You say, well, you've told the people of the world up here's pay me this money and I'll say whatever you want me to say.
There you go. So
And
those are some of them.
you're mad when they have a video recording of you saying it.
Well, I think you just didn't realize it was Jimmy Kimmel, which
It
you
doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Assume it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Yep.
Assume it's, ABC News. Assume that it's going to be
Always.
everywhere.
Yes,
Because
always
of who
assume
you
it.
are and because of just what just happened to you. I mean, even if it wasn't Kimmel, assume that all those people are going to send their videos to him and go, look what we had him say.
Exactly. I mean, do you think that if you did cameos and there was a weird one, you would just say, no, I'm not going to do it?
If there was a vulgar one, I mean,
but what if it was like you can read between the lines? Like it's not vulgar, but
probably not. I would like to think that I would say no, but I wouldn't sign up for that service anyway, and no one really would book me for that service, so I'm worried about it.
You never know. Well, no, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
if you're famous enough, you have to figure that people are going to be out to gotcha.
If there was a person that you would want a cameo from, who would you want it from?
I'm gonna say
you guys know who I would want. Obviously, he doesn't
Matthew.
do cameos. He's too big of a
I would
celebrity.
say Sam Heughan, but
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but maybe I don't know. I mean, when you pay, that's the thing is when someone pays for one of these videos, they don't know you. The person making them, they don't know you. They don't care. It's not like you got a video from Matthew McConaughey and he's like, Nikki, I remember meeting you in San Francisco.
No,
I hope you're doing really well. Like he doesn't mean that. Like it's not true. Someone paid him money to say a certain set of things. I would say I don't need that. I don't need.
Yeah, now you're making it sound like I don't know why anybody pays for that. I think it's just a fun joke. Like I've never paid for a cameo. If anyone has ever done it, done a cameo or paid for someone to get a cameo or received one, did you like it? I think it would just be more of a joke. Remember, I told you, we'll talk about Rudy Giuliani in a minute. I was going to do it for my dad, who's a total conservative, but then I didn't want to give Rudy Giuliani any friggin' money. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. But other than that, it would just be, I think it would have to be funny to give it. It's not like I would be like, oh, I really am going to treasure this because they're speaking directly to me.
Right. No.
Yeah.
Not
all right.
To some California news, police are looking for for information on several sideshows that happened in Bay Area cities. In Vallejo, 2 cars were doing donuts in an intersection early yesterday morning. 2 passengers were hanging out the window as the crowd recorded that video. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Oakland police responded to 3 reports of dangerous driving, all within 90 minutes. San Francisco also had its share of stunts near 13th and South Van Ness. Here's a sad story. San Francisco's oldest toy store is struggling to stay open. This is the family-owned Jeffrey's Toys in Union Square. They've been making toys and making children happy since 1938. There used to be 7 locations around the city. The one on Kearney Street now is the only one left.
But I mean, what kind of toys are we talking about here?
Just regular toys, toy store.
I know,
Yeah.
but like the reason why I ask is, do they carry video games? Do they carry, or is it, not saying board games don't work. I've never been in this toy store. Maybe they carry all that stuff, but kids want different things than they wanted in 1933. That's for damn sure. So it's, you got to move with the times or it's going to go. I was driving down this little, it's Meridian Avenue. It's a major thoroughfare. But I was looking at some of these shops that I grew up seeing that I've never stepped one foot into. I mean, I've grown up looking at these shops and some of them are closing down now. Like there's one shoe repair shop that apparently that might be going under. I think I've been there once. And that's when I had dance shoes. You have to change with the times. And it's not necessarily saying something if it goes away. How are you utilizing? Oh, so it's a regular toy store. Yeah, it's a regular toy store.
They have all the Barbie stuff. They have comic book stuff.
Yeah, Amazon. Then I think that's the Amazon effect then, right? You can get all that crap online and nobody's going to walk into the store and buy it.
They have Squishmallows. They have stuffed animal
everything.
section. They have
it
like
has
the
to be. It has to be the
general
fact that
stuff.
they're, online.
Dress up clothes. So it looks like a normal. I mean, I'm not seeing like a massive video game section, but it looks like they have some stuff there. Some comic books.
Exactly.
Well, this store apparently is struggling to stay open. The owner says they don't want to give up, but if business doesn't pick up this week, because this is one of their biggest weeks before Christmas, then they may have to close the doors for good right after Christmas. So this is when they're going to make this decision. So if Jeffrey's Toys doesn't get good business this week, they're done for.
Well, I mean, if your entire, and I hope that people support them and they are able to stay. I will say this, but if your entire business model depends on 1 week, right, then I think you also either need to think about downsizing, maybe moving out of Union Square, the business model, when you have to compete with something like Amazon, changes, it just does. I don't know. It sucks, but things like this happen. And so we'll see if Jeffrey's can survive.
Yeah, I don't know if it will be able to. It's kind of an end of an era for some of these places. And it's sad to see them go.
It is true, Kim. 45 Kearney is near the new studios for KCBS. There actually is, now that you mentioned that, right across the street, there's some sort of toy place as well. I don't think it's Jeffrey's, obviously, because it's directly across the street from 88. But again, it reminds me of what I was just talking about these shops. It looks like it's been there for a very long time. How many people are actually walking into it? It's fine and dandy to feel nostalgia for stores and sign windows that you grew up seeing. If you're asked to go into the place and buy anything, then it's going to go away. You support what you want to keep. That's what matters. So, if people want to keep Jeffrey's, then buy your toys there and don't buy them off Amazon. Amazon makes it really easy though. So
did you hear the story? This will be my last one about Fantasia Barrino. She's the American Idol star, Fantasia.
Okay.
She is alleging racial profiling was the reason that she and her family were ousted from an Airbnb rental over the weekend.
Oh, no.
The actress singer posted on X that the Airbnb host accused the group of having a party and making loud noises, but Barrino said she was never told that she couldn't have company over, and it wasn't evident that the house was set up to host parties and gatherings as well. It was evident that it was. Airbnb has reached out to Barrino to look into this whole incident, but she's saying that was racial discrimination. She was being targeted.
I wonder, I think I just saw her on Jennifer Hudson's show. Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia were on the same season, I think, of American Idol. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know how easy it's going to be to prove, of course. So I guess we'll just have to see what comes of that, but that sucks.
Yeah, it's a bummer. This report sponsored by you. Thank you for going to the NikkiMedoroShow.com, the NikkiMedoroShow.com to check out what we've got going on along with the Patreon and PayPal. There's a lot more, including the list of Nikki's favorite things. If you haven't seen it yet,
That's
pretty cool
true.
stuff on that list. So check it out. I'm Kim McAllister, and this is the Nikki Medoro Show.
Thank you. Thank you. Question from Calvin about that Fantasia story. Was it a large party? Do we know?
How many people she had over?
I mean, I'll say this, if I was renting my house on Airbnb, it should be explicitly written in the rules of how many people at one time can be inside the house, right?
Yeah.
Unless you know that you're renting it. Like, so if I call an Airbnb and I say, I'm having my daughter's wedding, you have a beachfront house with this huge view, I'm going to be having a party there, and there was some sort of added deposit or something, then yeah. But if it's not, if you're just like renting a pad and then decide to have a party, I mean, there has to be some rules there. It really does, because it's somebody's home.
It says she can't stay quiet with how she was treated last night. This is from her kids.
Okay.
Airbnb trying to kick my kids and I out at midnight. She went on to detail that her son had friends over ranging in ages from 10 to 12, and that the kids did have a party, but that their activities were outside during the day, including the use of a game truck. Kind of sounds like a kids' event. The house is also set up with several amenities indicating that friendly gatherings would be welcome, but it doesn't say how many kids that he had over.
Well, my daughter years ago went to one of those game truck parties, and I will say that there were at least 8 to 10 seats. I want to say. I don't think I'm exaggerating there. I want to say 8 to 10 seats, maybe, and then multiple screens so people can play against each other. Now, also that game truck probably, I think, is what drew the negative attention more than anything else. It's gigantic. It's huge. And so depending on the neighborhood, they probably got a call. You know what I mean? So
she said there were balloons delivered on the game truck, and she thinks that's what attracted attention.
Well, yeah. Did you tell them that you were having a birthday party there?
But she said that the number of people who spent the night were exactly the number of people they registered for, and that she was never told that she couldn't have a party during the day.
Ooh, that's interesting. So yeah, there's the question is the number of people allowed to spend the night the only number of people that can be inside the house?
It was her son's birthday. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she may or may not have a case. It matters what the rules state. If it's written explicitly, no parties, then she has no case. Because obviously a game truck is going to be, and balloons is not racial profiling. It's obvious you're having a party. Now,
I thought Airbnb had a no party rule. Remember the Halloween party where people were shot in Orinda?
Yeah, but that was like that was a lot of people.
Yeah, but after that moment, they said no more gatherings, no more parties.
Right. I don't know.
You know?
Again, if it was just 10-year-olds, let's say, and there were, I mean, I can't imagine a party more than 20 people unless she's like having a raid. That even seems like too many kids. So I don't know. We'd have to have more specifics. But if it says explicitly no parties and you got a game truck and balloons, then she violated the terms. And that's not racial profiling. If it doesn't say anything, and if she even told them that I'm renting it for my son's birthday and we're having a birthday party, then yeah, I think that there could be a case that's made there, but we'll have to see. Okay, real quickly, Rudy Giuliani ordered to pay $148 million, steps outside the courthouse after that is handed out and says, I don't regret a damn thing. I'm sensing Mr. Giuliani is not planning on paying a dime to these women. A lot of people were saying he's going to file for bankruptcy, but there's still a question of whether filing for bankruptcy would protect him from having to dole out the money. Like, can you do something like that? I believe it's before the courts, that question of how that would actually work. If he doesn't have the money, he doesn't have the money. I know that damn well, like he was begging Trump to help him pay his legal fees and all those sorts of things. If there was somebody that had a huge fall from grace, there's many people on this list, don't get me wrong, but Rudy Giuliani, man, I mean, going from 9/11 to this is insane. Now, again, if you don't know, he was ordered to pay that huge amount to 2 former Georgia election workers who said he destroyed their reputations with the lies regarding the 2020 election. He was found to have defamed the women. They have to pay a combined $75 million in punitive damages, $16.2 million to Ms. Freeman, $16.9 million to Ms. Moss, as well as $20 million to each of them for emotional suffering. Sometimes I feel like these dollar amounts, though, there's just no way he's going to pay it. Natalie says bankruptcy would not discharge that type of judgment. Phineas believes that Rudy is holding money in multiple Swiss bank accounts. He probably is.
I don't know. Wasn't he so poor that he had to go hat in hand to Donald Trump and say, "Please hold this event for me, $100,000 a head tickets at the golf club. I really need this money."
I mean, he's doing cameos, Kim. He's doing cameos.
Rudy Giuliani is doing cameos?
Yep, he's doing cameos.
Oh, God.
So I don't know if he still is, but I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me look it up real quick. Rudy Giuliani cameo. Let's see. Yep, he's still on there. Let's see how much it costs. You can get you can get him. Oh, they're temporarily unavailable.
Oh.
Follow to be notified, but it said you can get a message for $20. I'm sure that's a bit too low. But he's done some. He has a bunch of them up. Here, let me see. This is one. Hold on. Let me share my screen so you can see it.
I wouldn't even pay $20 for that.
And something fun. I can do a happy birthday greeting or a happy anniversary greeting, or wish someone good luck on a wedding or birth of a child. We can talk about politics. We can talk about sports, or maybe motivation or a pep talk. Sometimes people need that. So if you feel you'd like me to do that, you just go ahead and call on me, and through the magic of Cameo, I'll be there and I'll do it happily. Thank you.
Okay, he's totally begging for money, and that's really, really sad.
Wow.
Yeah, Ricky's like, loser. It's so sad. I know, but I don't want to give Rudy money, Phineas, so I wouldn't do it. That would be so funny, though. Like, maybe it would be if it was just for my show, but they're temporarily unavailable, probably because he's not allowed to make money, probably because he owes these women $148 million that he's not allowed to make cameos because they're just going to take it right away from him. So wouldn't it be funny if Trump had to start doing cameos because he fell from grace? That would be something that I would love to see. But anyways.
I'm just so surprised. I can't believe the whole... Trump and his language, Trump and the disgusting things that come out of his mouth, Trump that, wants to, I don't want to say he wants to kill our democracy, but it sure as hell feels like it.
Yeah.
And it just surprises me that people ask, well, gosh, what happened? Didn't the German people see what was happening in World War II or before World War II? Didn't they see that, Hitler's rise to power? Didn't they see this?
Yep.
And now here we have someone that's using the same language.
Yep.
In America saying, I'll be a dictator on day one.
Yep. He's going to punish people.
No one's concerned? No one's concerned?
A lot of people that are concerned.
Trump.
Yeah. That's why we got to vote, Kim. That's why we have to vote.
All right. Just
yeah, I know. Amy's like, who would send their kid a birthday cameo from Rudy?
Hi, Johnny. This is Rudy Giuliani.
I love Jim. He's like, we will get one of him if we win the Super Bowl. The 49ers saying that liberal San Francisco are now the world champions. I'd love that. I just love that. Have the Niners win. Okay. There's a scam that you guys need to watch out for. We've heard about this before and we've talked about it. Because of AI and the prevalence of it, a lot of parents, loved ones are getting phone calls and they're fake saying, your kid's been kidnapped, have to do a ransom. Who was it? Yeah, Kelly Osbourne actually was talking about this as well. That giving advice like you need to have a secret word that's really, really secret, like never announce it. Don't say it, don't do anything. So that if somebody calls you claiming to be your kid, because AI can literally create their voice saying, oh my God, I've been kidnapped, you need to help me or whatever, I'm in jail or whatever. You need to ask them the safe word. And if they can't do it, then you know that it's kind of a scam. Oakland Unified School District actually put out a warning about a scam targeting parents. They said on Friday, 2 families received calls that their child was kidnapped and being held for ransom. But in both cases, the kids were safe. So this is the dark side of all this technology. You know what I mean? again, every time we talk about AI and our phones and all those sorts of things, there's good things and there's bad things. We need to find ways to protect ourselves. It's dangerous out there, people. It really, really is. But as far as technology that's started and gone away, PC Magazine came out with a list of things and technology that died in 2023. Hold on one second. I just have to cough.
Oh, you poor thing. This
It's
cough
okay. It's
and this
okay. I
cold
know.
isn't going anywhere.
It's
It's
just
like the one that's one of those lingering ones, you know?
It is. It is. I put it on my Facebook page. I was like, all I want for Christmas is for my cough to go away. Do you know how many
It's
people out there
true.
have a cough?
Is
It's
it a
insane.
lot?
Mhm.
Yeah. And sometimes it feels like it just goes on and on and on. And
Yes.
then, yeah.
Keeps me up. And sometimes I'm just on a side note, I forget how to cough. It's really weird. Like I can't get it out enough that I start having this
Mhm.
like deep cough. It's weird. Anyways,
Mm.
like what's wrong with my body? But anyways, okay, let's go over this list of all the technology that died in 2023. We're going to start with this first one. RIP Twitter. Twitter went away in 2023.
Yep.
It's and now that's obviously after Elon Musk took the helm and he changed its name. All right, what do you guys think? Do you think that X, which is Twitter, is going to survive? What do you think, Kim?
No. It's toast. I mean, he fired everybody. People are not gravitating away from, or not gravitating away, but they're leaving it instead of gravitating toward it. They're leaving because now it's not the same as it once was, from what I understand.
Now, I will go on it. So, for instance, the video of Rudy Giuliani doing a cameo or something, or
Mhm.
that kid that was talking about Bridget Ziegler.
Mhm.
I can go on Twitter X. I like to call it Twitter still because I type in Twitter. And I can find the videos like that pretty quickly. And I
Mhm.
like it in that instance, but I don't use it. I don't go on it and scroll because the whole thing is different.
Yeah.
Haters love X, Ricky says.
Yeah.
Montreal's
That's
never
why
used it. What?
Yeah. Do you think it's, I don't know, for as someone who's on it sometimes, do you feel like it's a lot of more hateful type of stuff happening, that it's this become this cesspool of humanity?
Well, you just don't know whose account it really is, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah, Alex Jones is on it. I wouldn't want to be on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I still use it occasionally, but I
Yeah.
don't use it as much as I used to. So I think that's kind of the difference. And of course, we don't know what Elon Musk is going to do with X, right? Because
Mhm.
he can't seem to make money off it. Twitter was never really profitable. So how are you going to make money off something that now has a reputation of being full of falsehoods and have people like Alex Jones in it?
Mhm.
Um, oh yeah, look, Jim said I finally dropped Twitter because of Kim's newscast of letting Alex Jones back in. There's a lot of people saying, look,
No.
if you're going to allow that type of person on it, I don't want to be on it anymore.
No. Mm-mm.
And you could just buy your blue check and that's all you could do. All right, next on the list. Clubhouse. Do you remember Clubhouse?
No.
So it was during, the pandemic. They had these like, let's have cocktails over Zoom or whatever. Well, apparently Clubhouse was one of the things that burst onto the scene as an app that facilitated audio only chats between groups.
Huh. Okay.
Tech giants quickly churned out their own Clubhouse clones, but these party line throwbacks, remember party line where you can connect people on the phone,
Mhm.
just didn't last very long. Let's see. Facebook was the first to go, ditching its live audio rooms in December of 2022. But 2023 also saw the end of Reddit Talk, Spotify Live, Amazon's live radio DJ Amp app, X Spaces. Now, we did a space. Remember when KGO shut down? We all went on Spaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still around, though, but it's not doing well.
Oh.
PC Mag even saying, don't rely on it for things like campaign launches and things like that.
No, because remember who tried it? Was it DeSantis who launched
Yeah.
his presidential campaign, and there were all kinds of glitches and
Yeah, it was really,
yeah.
really bad. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have the bandwidth or whatever to kind of maintain it. So this next one's really funny because I think it was a memory yesterday on my Facebook page. It came up. And the Facebook post, remember when Facebook posts were just like streams of thought? There were like no pictures. So
Yeah.
this is like really in the early days. And my Facebook post said something to the effect of, I wonder what my husband's going to get at Redbox. Now, remember Redbox? And there's still some of them out there where you can
With
go
movies.
outside 7-Elevens and you can get the movies.
Yeah.
Well, not only did that die, the Netflix DVD business said goodbye this year, shifted all of its attention to streaming. The final Netflix DVD went out in September, but they say don't mail them back. You could just keep them.
Because who wants the actual videos anymore anyway, right?
Well, that's the whole thing. So I've mentioned before, because we're SAG-AFTRA, we get the mailers, the DVDs, so you can watch at home and vote on the movies. I mean, I never watch them again because I could stream the movie. Most of the time I've already seen the movie. And so, we got a bunch of Redbox users still. Redbox is still, and it is still around. I just kind of tied it to my Facebook post about Redbox. But Calvin still uses it. Amy still uses it. John
Really?
still uses it.
You guys don't stream instead? You go
Now,
back
why
and
do you
forth to
guys
the
still
movie box?
use? Why do you guys still use Redbox? And just my email, I'll just throw it up on the screen real quick. Why do you guys still use Redbox? Is it because it's not streaming on any of the services, or do you guys just not have streaming? I can't imagine still getting a DVD and putting it in. Liz still likes the DVDs. Streaming doesn't always work. I miss the Netflix. My parents did the Netflix DVD till the very, very end. I started with Netflix at the very beginning, like the very beginning. So much so that they were sued because they weren't mailing the movies back quick enough. Remember, they said, move it, you get mail it back in, you get another one the next day. I was like that. I would get the DVD, I would watch it that day, and that night I'd put it in the mailbox to get another one. And it was costing them a ton of freaking money, which was really, really funny. So that's why. But I loved the original Netflix. Oh, SF Tesla says Nob Hill took out its Redbox, and when I asked why, they laughed at me. Aw.
Oh.
Oh, Ricky doesn't do TV. Amy does have streaming, but still likes the DVDs or Redbox. Yeah. Streaming does it get bonus? Oh, that's a good point, Jim. So if you get the DVD, sometimes they have the bonus features and all those sorts of things that you don't get if you're just streaming it through,
That's true.
Paramount or whatever. Blu-ray delivers superior picture. I love you, Blu-ray people. Ashton says that's a good point. Remember that movie I kept talking about last Friday, Leave the World Behind?
Oh, yeah.
The bunker had all the DVDs in it. No streaming, right? You can't stream it if the world goes to hell in a handbasket. That's very, very true. That's good. Greg says Redbox is really cheap. Yeah. So there's some reasons to keep that. Let's see. The next thing that went away, kind of tied to Netflix, is password sharing for Netflix went away. So as promised, Netflix kicked off a password sharing crackdown this year, rolled out the option to add 2 extra people to your account. That's $8 per person per month. So then it just made sense for people that were mooching off of you to pay the $7 a month to get their own kind of subscription, the basic subscription, I guess. I was and maintain, I think password sharing is fair, but yeah, they got me. Let's see what else. So in January, Snap Cameras app, the Snapchat app, which famously replaced a lawyer's picture with that of a kitten, took off during the pandemic. But these days, video chats are a mundane part of office life. No one wants to see you as a potato. Snap agreed and got rid of the app in January.
Okay.
Altspace VR, the social VR program, announced plans to shut down in 2017, but it actually happened this year. Amazon Smile. Did any of you guys use Amazon Smile? Do you know what that is?
For the schools, it was
for the schools. Yeah.
0.001% of every purchase went to a charity of your choice.
Yeah.
Right.
It was 0.5% of the price of eligible purchases.
Yeah. But
consumers didn't use it.
At least for the year, usually for the school, we'd make a couple $100 at least.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think this is on the list. Does your school still do the box tops?
Yes.
The middle school and high school doesn't do it. The elementary school did, but then they went electronic.
Yeah.
Like you could scan it, and I didn't use it as much.
Yeah.
I liked the regular box top. So that was a kind of an example of when technology just didn't work. You know what also went away in 2023 that I saw coming from the very, very beginning, Kim McAllister?
What?
3 letters. NFTs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
NFTs basically went away. Meta got into the action in 2022, allowing Instagram users to create NFTs, that Facebook users to share them, but it did not exactly set either social network on fire, and Meta said in March it would be winding down digital collectibles. Dude, it's a receipt for a picture that you don't actually own. It's stupid.
No.
I never understood NFTs.
No.
Google Glass, the Enterprise Edition, also shut down due to privacy concerns and the high price of $1,500. Google briefly pivoted to the Enterprise before throwing in the towel on Glass this year. Subscriptions for print and Kindle magazine newspapers on Amazon. Print is still kicking, but not on Amazon. Amazon turned off Kindle newsstand and print magazine subscription orders, as well as the ability to renew annual Kindle newsstand or print subscriptions through Amazon. So that went away. Amazon's Halo brand was introduced in 2020 to enhance the health and fitness market, competing with Fitbit and things like that. But it did not take off. Amazon Echo speakers dominated the smart home space, but it did not kind of make the same headway with fitness trackers. PlayStation Plus Collection offered next-gen console players 20 PS4 classic games for free, but that did not take off. Let's see what other ones. Did I ever have any? Alexa Celebrity Voices was launched in 2019 for like 99 cents. You could download it.
So you could have like Matthew
Samuel
McConaughey be
Jackson.
the voice of your Alexa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That shut down.
I wonder why. That seems like that would have been a good one.
Well, even like Waze has done it before. Well, they'll team up with a voice to give you your directions. No, I used it occasionally. I have the Australian voice. It's not a famous actor or anything. It's just an Australian voice if I actually have it. The Stitcher, remember we talked with Maddie Stout about this. The Stitcher podcast app. Remember that shut down this year. Sirius announced plans to shut down the standalone app and incorporate it into the Sirius XM. Verizon Blue Jeans. This was, it didn't have some key features in the remote work shift. It couldn't compete with Zoom. It was basically kind of a Zoom competitor for that, a video conferencing app. That did not last. Let's see that I haven't heard of a bunch of these. They didn't last very long. I never heard of Google Jamboard. Anybody use Google Jamboard?
What's that?
It was in the pre-pandemic era when we were all gathering in crowded conference rooms. I guess they have these smart whiteboards that you can use. Google's version was the Jamboard, a 55-inch, $5,000 device that apparently lacked some features that other ones had. And then it wound down this year. Google's podcast app also wound down. Microsoft's WordPad, which was their basic word processor and document editor, that ended this year. Mint, the personal finance app, also wound down this year. I never used it, but I've heard of it. Mint.
Yeah.
I've used that. Apple's music voice plan ended. Let's see. Tumblr Post Plus. I have never used Tumblr, but I've heard people talk about that. And then, of course, we had this, I think, last week. The Entertainment Software Association's ESA Annual Gaming Expo.
Did you say
officially ended?
Did you say Google Podcast is over?
No, Google. Hold on, where was it? Google. No, that was the Jamboard. That was the Jamboard that ended. Okay. And then there was another Google one that sounded like Google. Yeah, the Google Podcast app. Yes, it shut down. It first launched in 2018, followed by iOS in 2020. It's also available on the web but not for long. It's gonna.
Are we on there? We're on there.
Into YouTube Music, so it's integrating into YouTube Music.
Okay.
So the standalone podcast app, the Google Podcast app, is going away. Venmo on Amazon is gone. If you use that, Amazon is dropping Venmo as a payment option. It's actually effective January 10th. That was a little over a year after it first launched. So that's gone. Yeah. So a lot of technology we said goodbye to this year. And I would say, you know what? I don't miss a lot of it. I really don't. Stitcher I used when I first launched my first podcast years and years and years ago. I was on Stitcher and I always felt like that was really cool. Apple is the name of the game, though, when it comes to podcasting. So Google Glass, I'm seeing some comments on that. I never thought it was a good idea. Anybody? Jess seems to think it was ahead of the game. I don't want somebody coming into my house with glasses on that could start doing searches and everything. Even though I know we have our phones and they could be doing it that way, it seemed creepy to me.
Yeah.
It really, really did. It and that's why they called people that wore those glass holes. Exactly. Exactly. SF Tesla makes a good point about technology. No laptop or Chromebook ever is sold with a DVD player or writer from now on, but adjuncts that you plug in USB devices are sold in many stores, even Walmart. Yeah. So those of you that like to watch DVDs, yeah, I don't have one on this.
I
My
don't have one of mine
old old MacBook had one, but not this one.
Which
There
is a
are
bummer because someone gave me a disc of pictures from my son's preschool age, and now I
Okay.
have to figure out how to get like an
You don't have a DVD
external
player at
device.
all?
You need to put it in your computer to save the files.
Oh.
Yeah. Mhm. So
David
I have
has to have something.
Yeah, I'll find someone that has it and then I'll download it or whatever. Yeah.
Lori says Jamboard was used by a lot of teachers, not the device, but the
Yeah.
application. Never heard of the device. Okay, that's interesting. I've never heard. This is kind of scary. Aussie Rule says Google Glass to Google contact lenses, implant into your eyes, can see the technology evolving that way. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun. How about our voices on an Alexa? I would give you my voice on an Alexa if it doesn't sound so crappy like it does now because I'm all stuffy and coffee and gross. Yeah, it sucks. I hate having this cold. My husband has it now and it just really, really sucks. But okay, one more final thing since we're talking about end of the year type of stuff. There was this article in the Mercury News, and it had a basic question. It says, what do hotel guests really want in 2024? So they took this survey of all the things. And basically the message is we're done accepting less for more money. Basically the resort fees we're done with. This is what I'm done with. And I thought that we were over this, but seems to be a holdover from COVID. Not cleaning your room every day. Like, I'm not saying I need a whole nother set of towels. I can reuse towels more than once, right? Like, as long as they're not on the floor and disgusting, right?
Or sheets. I don't need you to change my sheets every day.
Not every time, but
No.
can you please like clean, tidy up, especially if I'm paying top dollar for a nice hotel.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people do mints on pillows outside cruise liners and stuff like that. But it does seem like that's ended and hasn't really come back full force.
What drives me crazy is parking fees. Like you're charging me to park at for the privilege of parking at your establishment to pay you extra money or more money to for your goods and services.
Right.
You're charging me to park there, really?
Yeah.
Hotel parking is that drives me nuts.
Also places that offer a quote unquote free breakfast. Like I'm already there. I feel like a continental breakfast. And I'm not talking about a Motel 6. I'm not talking. But sometimes I find like the cheaper places are more willing to give you food than the high-end places where you paid out the butt for the hotel and you can't even give me a croissant.
No.
And a cup of coffee. I mean, most of them have coffee makers, but I want, a nice continental breakfast being thrown in. I think is
my mom doesn't want to stay at any hotel that doesn't have a breakfast.
Right. I mean, I think that it's the least you can do. I'll also add this, and it's not in the list that I'm reading. I'm done with the early end of free breakfast. Like, I don't want to have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn to get breakfast.
Yeah.
It should last until I can get it at fast food. 10, I'll even say 11, but 10 o'clock I think is a reasonable time. Some of them end so early, like 9. Like, I don't want to get out of bed that early. I got to get clothes on. I got to look at least semi-presentable. No, thank you. Oh, Louise, thank you so much for that. Well, I was going to get you the Trump mugshot edition NFT for Christmas. Then I sent you this contribution and said, since you say NFTs are no longer a thing, can't believe Trump didn't get the memo. He's always so cutting edge. That's so funny. Thank you for the $20, Louise. I always appreciate the support. That is so, so funny. Yeah, Jim says, I hate that hotels do not collect trash daily and expect you to put trash out in the hallway. Too many times I see wheelchairs blocked by stacks of pizza boxes.
Oh,
yeah,
gross.
I mean, that's gross. Liz, I never use the Wi-Fi at hotels because I've always been told like you shouldn't use it because it's not protected.
Oh.
I mean, maybe I'll use it for like the kids to watch a movie. But I've heard that it's not really good to use the unprotected Wi-Fi because they can kind of hack into stuff. I could be wrong, but that's my own thing. Murphy says, I don't want to stay anywhere that I have to go downstairs for breakfast. I want room service and a Keurig in the room. I'll bring my own Coachella Valley K-Cups. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like room service, but then you have to pay for it. If they're offering it to you for free, then I think you have to go down and go get it. Right?
Yes, Jammer DC. This is my point. Monterey too, and also Disneyland. Have you seen the cost of parking in San Francisco? It's outrageous. It's a third the cost of the room. It's wild.
It's like $50 a night sometimes. Sometimes more than that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go find we stayed overnight at a hotel. I want to say maybe it had to have been last year. And the parking at the hotel was so outrageous that I found a parking, like a garage. It was covered. And so it was secure. But like, I just had to walk a block with my bag. And I was like, it's worth it. It was worth it because it was so outrageous what this hotel was charging. Oh yeah. $65 plus tax at Hotel Nico. Yeah. No, thank you. The 10 o'clock a.m. checkout time. I agree. If I can get it, I'd love to do late checkout. I mean, I just feel like nobody wants to wake up early when they're on vacation. I'm sleeping in. I want to sleep until my eyes open on their own. And even then I want to stay in bed for a little bit longer. That's just how I am.
I have a quick story for you before we adjourn for the day.
Yes.
And it is a spinoff of Wednesday.
Okay.
You know, that TV show?
Yeah.
It focuses on Uncle Fester is in the works at Netflix.
Ooh, Uncle Fester, very interesting character from Wednesday. Do we know who's going to play him?
It's in development. Uncle Fester is played by Fred Armisen.
Oh, they're going to choose that guy. Oh, they're going to. It's literally a spinoff from Wednesday. Oh, and he was really good. I liked him. He's from like Portlandia. You guys know him. He's a comedian. He's really, really funny. I like that. All right. I liked Wednesday. I thought it was really good series. So that'll be fun.
Now we get the Uncle Fester spinoff.
Oh, dude, they can do all kinds of spinoffs there. His relationship with Gomez. I mean, a million things you could talk about. How Hand and him became friends. Come on. Yeah. All right. Click the thumbs up button before we end the show. I am going to be gone tomorrow, but I'm doing an interview right after the show with Loretta Lynch that will air tomorrow. Okay. And so we're going to talk all things PG&E. She's always a wealth of knowledge and outrage for us. So stay tuned for that as well tomorrow. The super chat. Thank you to everybody that donated to our super chat. Harry came in with a $5 donation. So did Doug with a $5 super sticker. Yeah. Thank you, Doug. And of course, Luis just came in with a $20. Woo. No NFTs for me. It's the biggest scam I've ever heard of in my entire life. You guys, please, if you can, I know it's Christmas time, but if you could donate to our show, we would really, truly appreciate it. We love the community we created here, and we want to continue doing it. So if you can go to thenikkimedoroshow.com, there's our Patreon link, our merch link, our My Favorite Things link. Please sign up, though, to become a monthly Patreon subscriber. It's the money we can depend on every single month, and we appreciate you guys so, so much. PayPal, go to paypal.com. TheNikkiMedoroShow@gmail.com is the email that you put in. And that's also the email to reach me. Jess, I think it was you that was asking about it. So that's the best email to reach me at. All right. Show tomorrow. I will be back live on Wednesday. I appreciate you all. Love you. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.